What's up, everybody? It's LaVar Arrington here. Yeah, that isn't Plexico Burst. That's Cuffs. Cuffs the legend from Some Dude Show. I got my man, Pantene man, Houshmandzadeh. Did you get any inboxes from the WNBAers? Did they show you some love, TJ? Like, were they happy about your hair? Were they happy about the way you advocated for them? How did that go for you, my G?
I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't check them. I'll go check after the show.
All right. So before we get into the topics that we're going to get into, Cuffs, let me bring you in on what we was talking about yesterday. You might have seen it on IG. This is Up On Game, by the way, y'all. Make sure you check us out. We had the conversation. Clay Travis. Thank you, sir. Clay Travis, radio host, known as a controversial type of guy, does sports and does politics, said that a high school championship team of his choice, taking on a starting five of the WNBA.
On the WNBA
the champions of the WNBA,
which would be the Las Vegas Aces.
The Aces, that the high school team would beat the Aces in a game.
Cuffs, what you say?
Let me tell you what, brothers.
And he's a basketball enthusiast. Cuffs is a basketball enthusiast, so I'm enjoying what he's about to say because he's falling on your side, TJ.
You can tell.
But I'm about to spank him, though. Go ahead.
Look, the things that Aja Wilson would do to a high school boy, just in the post alone, no fancy moves, no counters, just buckets. Like, it's a different speed. It's a different speed. Okay, put it this way. I've trained several high school level Division I girls and boys. I trained every level of basketball for over 15, 17 years, right? I've seen it all. Why do you think they bring in college managers and college boys to practice with these girls and they getting cooked? So these are grown men practicing against South Carolina women's, Dawn Staley, those programs. They have grown men like us, like college boys.
Sounds familiar, huh, LaVar?
Yeah, and they getting killed at practice.
Hey, listen, I respect that. It does sound familiar. Here's the problem I have with what y'all are saying. And I said this to TJ yesterday, and I said this on the horn. You've been around basketball. You've been on the elite AAU circuit, the travel circuit. Cuffs, you and I both know that the top high school programs that are private school programs are recruiting these kids in from all over the world, not the country. They are recruiting in the top players from all over the world. How tall is your girl that you just threw out there that's going to eat them up in the post, that's going against grown-ass men in the post and doing them up? How tall is she?
I think Aja was like 6'5", 6'4",
6'4", give her 6'5". I'll give her 6'5". I'll give her 6'5". That's your center. That's your center.
So can
what
I
do you
say
mean?
something?
What's that mean? What does that mean?
Thing,
what does it mean? So she gonna take it to a dude that's 6'11", 6'10"? She gonna take it to him? Come on, y'all.
190 pounds.
Did he say? Did he say public high school basketball state champion or a private school?
He said school of his choice of champions that won the champ. So I threw out Link. In Missouri. Link was the number one team last year, or they're the number one team this year. Then you got Mount Verdi. You got Mount Verdi in Florida. You got all these different schools. You got IMG. You're not going. Those dudes is like they could go pro after they leave. Come on, man. They could go pro.
LaVar, my boy made a great point in the comments, Ron.
There's 1 in a million of a Stephon Marbury. Yeah, that's fine.
No, he made a great point. That high school you just named, how many of them dudes are really going to make it in the league? Right now, they look like they have potential.
Bro.
And then when they get the chance to make it, they don't make it.
Bro.
They don't make it.
But every last one of them are good enough to be solid players, if not All-Americans in college. You don't have to make it. You could be a G League player. You could be an overseas player, and you're still going to be good enough to whoop on a WNBA team.
I think the part I missed, the part I need more context on is public school, like I said. So
that's
if you play
different.
It's different. So
that's different.
That private school where they stack the teams like Sierra Canyon.
Come on now. Come on, man.
It would be tough if you look at it that way. It would be tougher.
It would be I'm not saying it's not going to be a competitive game. I'm not
What
saying
what made him bring this up? What happened? What was the context behind
he
that?
said I
Basically,
think he basically said nobody cares about
the
WNBA.
Oh,
Which that's here nor there. We don't even need to debate that because that part of it, that's like we all are supporters of the WNBA. But for discussion's sake, I thought the most interesting part of it was when he got called out by one of the WNBA players, and he was like, "I'll put $1 million up that the team of my choice, the championship team of my choice, high school that plays your team, would win in a game."
Just how he stunted on him too. He said, "I'll put $1 million up. That's nothing because I have
I got 100 million.
Oh, that's what it is.
I'll buy me a whole bunch of balls.
You know what I love to know? Did he play basketball? I want to know his career high.
He's not an athlete. He's not an athlete.
He's
not an athlete.
He's mad because he got cut and he played the clarinet and band. He's a hater, bro. That's all it is.
He's not an athlete.
That's all.
Clay's not an athlete. But I will say this though. It was an interesting topic of discussion because to me, I had to go into my annals and I started thinking about if you're on the travel circuit. Now, were you on the travel circuit, TJ? I don't know if you was a hooper.
Hey,
like
you basketball?
Yeah, like travel circuit though.
Come on, bro.
He said, "Come on,
play sports, man. You know,
I was to say, I know you was grinding. I know you was on different. I know you was on a different type of hustle and play defense. I get that. Right?
I was doing nothing.
I was on the circuit playing. I was playing. Cuffs, you said you coached and you was around it, right?
Yeah, I've been around it. That's what I've been doing for 20 years, bro.
If you go to them tournaments, if you go to them tournaments and you talk about like the New York Gauchos and Boo Williams and all them programs, those are the same guys that are playing on the same high school teams together. They're the same guys.
They're not beating them women. They not.
TJ, that's you not seeing these dudes play. That's you not seeing these dudes play. Because the stuff I saw Lamar Odom and them doing, and listen, Lamar Odom was doing what he was doing. Dudes was doing what they was doing in high school and on everything. They was getting that work from other teams. They was getting that work from other teams.
I got a solution. You said this guy has hundreds of millions, right? Why don't he just do the Clay? He has hundreds of millions of dollars. This guy, what's his name? Clay
That's
Travis.
What he said. Clay Travis.
So we should just have the Clay Travis Invitational, the WNBA champion. Montverde, whoever wins the high school championship, play in Madison Square Garden or wherever.
But here's the problem. He
can put the bread up to the winner.
Cuffs, he ain't got a problem with that, Cuffs. He called it out. Money, like money. I don't have a problem with it.
I want to see it. I want to see it now.
Here's the problem we ran into. The problem we ran into is nobody responded to him. You're in a lose. If you're in the WNBA, you're in a lose-lose situation. If you win, you're expected to win because you're pros. But what if you lose? What if you lose? What if the truth of it is? What if
LeBron
the truth of it is? Come on, man. Right?
Yeah.
LeBron ain't no dunker. He can dunk.
Which ball do you play with? I mean, there's different variables.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good point.
Ball, it's an unfair advantage to the ladies. You play with a women's ball, it's an unfair advantage to the boys. So there's just so many different variables that you go through. But
TJ, you need to be a counselor. That's what you need to be a counselor of men and women.
He called this man a guidance counselor.
You're very grounded. You're a very, very sympathetic and empathetic person. I'm bringing no empathy. I'm bringing no sympathies. I'm bringing hardcore real. I don't give a damn what size that ball is. I don't give a damn what size that ball is.
Bottom line, these are grown women. You talking about boys that can, man? You know how weak them do. I don't care how athletic they are. They don't understand the game.
My mom stopped spanking. My mom stopped spanking me when I was in the 8th grade. 9th grade on, I wish you would spank me. 9th grade on, I wish you would spank me.
Hey, LaVar, you were a
9th grade.
You was grabbing the belt. You was grabbing the belt right there.
Hey, Cuffs. Hey, Cuffs. I went from this like.
Knock it off, Mom.
You can ground me.
Knock it off, Mom.
But you're not spanking me anymore.
You can ground me, Mom.
Yeah.
But this right here, right there. I'm not trying to be your parent. I'm not trying to be your parent, Mom. This is respect. Respect. Don't do that no more.
Hey, this was this
Don't
right
do
here
that
turned
no
into this turned into a therapy session right now.
Now, here's where it gets real. Here's where it gets real. Then I found myself, I wasn't able to breathe. I was choking. I was getting choked out. I was getting choked out. And in that moment, I was getting choked out. But it wasn't my mama. It wasn't my mama that was telling. I looked and it was Big Mike. Big Mike had me by my neck and I was up on the wall and I couldn't breathe. And I almost went to passing out. Maybe I did. I don't even remember. I just know that I couldn't breathe. And I never told my mom, don't do that no more. But my mom did not hit me again after that day, though. It was just too much. That was too much testosterone. If we was a lion pride, I would have had to leave the pride because I was going into the ninth grade.
Yeah, you was feeling good. You was feeling good.
By the time I was leaving high school, I'm turning 20 when I go into college that year. I'm 19 in my senior year. I'm 18 in my junior year. And I'm telling you right now, I could have played and started for any college football team in the land. And I could have been a bench. I could have been on special teams and I could have been on the bench just as a special team dude in the league. And that's
LaVar,
football. That's
rare.
football.
That's rare though, LaVar. That's rare. How many kids come out of high school that are big enough? I'll give you an example and then we can go into another topic. Nick Barnett. You remember Nick Barnett, right?
Nick Barnett.
Yeah.
Nick Barnett played with me at Oregon State. Played a long time.
Bad man.
You know how big he was when he came to college?
Well, he's not big to begin with.
He was 185.
He played in the league at
185.
He played in the league at 235, 240.
And that's little that's from our generation. That's a little.
LaVar,
that's a little backer.
He came into college 175 pounds and he left at 230.
Okay. Okay.
So you're talking kids that are 170. Man, these dudes in the NBA, that play basketball, they don't have the physical strength. But more than anything, up here, man, the WNBA is miles ahead of them boys, man.
Yo, wait till Victor Wembanyama.
I'm looking him up. I'm looking.
Look,
how much does he weigh?
Wait till he put on like that 30 pounds, 20 pounds. Oh, boy, the NBA. He
weighs 209 pounds, and he's the NBA phenom. He's an NBA phenom. He's 209.
LaVar. You can't even compare him. Wembanyama is unlike anything we've ever seen. And so
alien.
There ain't nobody in America like him.
No, it's an alien.
High school basketball is like him in America. Nobody.
No, he's an alien.
Nobody.
How old is he? 20? He's 20?
Yeah.
He's 20.
Nobody in America is like him. You're talking
He's 1 to 2 years older than a high school senior or junior.
There's nobody in high school like him. Just like there's nobody.
While I'll say he is the top of the top 1%. No, I'm with you. I agree with what you're saying, TJ. I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. But still, the physical attributes of a high school junior or senior, I think you're sleeping on it. You're sleeping on the high school junior and seniors' physical attributes and what they're able to bring to the table. If you're thinking some women can beat on them boys,
I'm not
the most elite. Now we're talking most elites.
I'm around basketball a lot now because of my son, so I'm not sleeping on it. I'm just giving the WNBA more credit than you are.
You flipping it, Pantene, man. You flipping it. You flipping it. And you can keep flipping it all you want. That's fine. That man said the most elite high school team. In my mind, I go into my annals.
He said state. He said state champion. He
said state champion, but state champion. Think about it. Mount Verde is a state champion. They won the state.
When I think of state champion, like I went deep in the playoffs in high school. I averaged 30. I was nice. I played in a small rural town though. So the teams from our area that made it to the Dean Dome in Chapel Hill for the state championship, they might have had 500 people in their whole town, right?
And they might have had one good player.
That's a state champion. That's what I think when I say
they might have one good player.
Yeah, Mount Verde and them, Oak Hill, man, they have the top players from every area. Like it's stacked.
Like 12. They got 12 players that are that are most likely going
Yeah.
to play at a professional level and in the next 2 years.
Not 12.
They got,
Not 12
yes,
players.
they do, TJ.
Hey, Vito, please, while we're doing this, look it up. I guarantee not 12 players from any high school team have played the NBA at one time. Guarantee.
Kinston, North Carolina. We up there. Shout out to Kinston. Jerry Stackhouse, Cedric Maxwell.
I think that's wrong.
Brandon Ingram. Ooh, we got a lot.
No, I'm talking about on the same team at the same time, all made
same time. Oh, hell no! You're lucky. You're lucky to get one. Honestly,
that's what I'm trying to tell this guy.
You're lucky to get one kid. The other kid might go.
Stop.
If you get 3, you're very, very, very lucky. He talking about 12 guys.
I think LaVar is thinking about. You're thinking about like when Tracy McGrady, right here in my backyard, when Tracy McGrady came to Durham to play for Mount Zion, that was kind of like the launch of like the private school thing. Tracy McGrady played with like other pros, other guys that went on to do good. But like you said, the private school thing, it's changed the whole landscape now, bro.
That's like, the point.
It's that's the point. I'm telling you.
That is the point. You got all of these. You got Nike involved. You got Adidas involved.
It's the money.
It's a worldwide conglomerate that is behind all of this that's going on, and all they're doing is
a money racket. It's a money racket.
And all they're doing is taking the most eligible dudes, the biggest prospects from around the world, and putting them on the same high school teams. They're putting them on the same high school teams. I'm going to look this up. I don't have it pulled up yet, but I'm telling you, the whole entire squad are major Division I players and professional prospects.
That's Oak Hill, though.
Team.
That's Oak Hill. School like that.
Team.
That ain't happening in rural Iowa, though. In rural Maine.
He gets to choose. But he gets to choose the team that he wants to choose.
Yeah, that's what messes it up right there.
There might be one team. There might be only, to y'all's point, to your point, TJ, there might be 1 or 2 programs that have that type of prospects on their rosters, but he gets to choose from them 1 or 2 teams who he wants them to play. And I'm telling you right now, you got dudes that are largely in part, like I said before, that are more talented than what years past were of basketball prospects that are coming through the systems. They're more talented. Now, guys will say they might be soft. We got that topic that we were supposed to get to. They might be soft. They might not, there might be something different about this era of player, but largely in part because of the specified training and the amount of time that's being spent and the openness of how people are able to do things now. These players are further ahead than any other time in the history of sports. They're further ahead.
And they would still lose.
He said they still lose.
I don't see it. If you got a dude that can do what KD is doing, literally at the same height, a dude that's 6'8", 6'9", 6'10", that's playing power forward or the swing. You got a dude that's 6. The shortest dudes on these teams is like 6'4", 6'5".
Don't sleep on the W. I'm
not.
with TJ. Don't sleep on the WNBA.
I'm not.
This matters.
That
matters.
It matters.
I agree. That makes it a game.
This matters.
The fact that they're grown-ass women and that they're pros makes it a game. That makes it a game. Let me ask y'all this. How many college teams? You mentioned Don Staley. How many college teams would beat that team? That high school elite team. How many college teams would beat them?
Beat a
high school elite, a top championship team. How many college?
Every program in the top 25 would run them bad. Every team in the top 25 would smoke them.
Okay, so the five means nothing.
You saying the college girls, like Don Staley's program, playing against who?
No, I think you meant college boys.
I said college girls. College girls.
That's different. Now, Don Staley's team program, LSU, they'd give them a run, but you got to understand, when we're talking professionals, this is what they do for a living. They working out. They training constantly. You don't have to go to school.
TJ,
you don't have study.
TJ,
That's a huge
TJ, you're part of elite culture. You're a part of elite culture, TJ. You're a part of elite culture. You know they got them schools now where they do exactly what you're saying. It is sports all day long. They fit academics into it. They fit
that's IMG Academy in Florida. That's what exactly they do. Yeah.
Come on, man.
What I'm saying
They're
is
pros too.
What I'm saying is this: when you're a teenager, you don't understand. There's very few teenagers that understand the magnitude of the work you need to put in, and so you're going to work at it, but it's not going to be your life like it is when you're a professional. We get our whole day is planned. Okay, I got to get to bed early. I got to get up early. I got to work out. I got to train. I got to go get a massage. I got to do this. You're not doing that in high school. You're not doing any of those things.
We talk about one game.
You eating Taco Bell. You eating Taco Bell. That's all you're doing.
We're not talking 80, 90 games. We're talking one
But
game.
we're talking a lifestyle that a professional athlete lives as opposed to a lifestyle that a high school athlete lives. You're just playing sports.
We're talking one game where your tallest player is 6'4". Give them 6'5". Your post woman man down low is 6'4", 6'5".
Hey, I don't care how tall
y'all tripping.
Tallest players ain't even making it to the league anymore if they have no
skill. Y'all are tripping.
You know what it sound like to me? It sound like to me, guys. I can feel the energy, VAR. I think you want to get out there and play, man. I think you still got the competitive juices. You trying to hoop, bro. I can feel it. I can see it.
And you know that's the funny thing, Cuffs. The funny thing is the no, I don't. The comments that was coming.
Lace him up, man.
The comments that was coming our way was for those who play basketball, for those who play the sport. Like as if us football players talking about it don't know enough about the sport to be able to be talking about it.
I can hoop though. Like I can really hoop. Like,
I'm really nice.
Y'all better check my resume. Y'all better check my resume.
Hey, you ain't even got to check my resume. Just holler at me. I can to this day. Wow, that shit wet. Wow.
Rest in peace. I was recruited by John Thompson to come play. I was recruited by Bobby Huggins to go. Offers. I was recruited by Villanova to go play. Memphis to go and offered the bag to go play football and basketball at Memphis. The bag. I was a hooper. I was a hooper first.
Put some respect on your name.
That's what I'm saying. Talking like I don't know basketball. I don't know round ball. Y'all see them pictures in the back, but don't get confused. I was out there crossing dudes up and jump. Bro, TJ, what am I known for? Leaping over cats, jumping over cats. It's because I was dunking on cats on the football field. My pass rush move was a crossover. I'm crossing you over. I'm crossing you over.
Miles Garrett killing him with it.
Come on, man. And all he doing is exercise.
This.
It's a crossover. All it is I'm crossing up a 300-pound man that's backing
all these
up.
Sports, they intersect with each other. They all enter. That's why kids need to do multiple sports instead of just focusing on one.
Man, I was a hooper. The only problem was I stopped growing in the 6th grade. I was dunking in the 6th grade. I was skying on dudes in the 6th grade. Think about that. 6th grade, I was spanking dudes, and I stopped growing, and I grew to 6'3" and 3/4 in the 6th grade, and never grew another inch. So I had to make a career change.
He said that 3/4. The 3/4 matters, right? 6'3" and 3/4.
It matters.
3/4, baby.
I had to make a career change because I was too short to be a big man, which makes my point. I was too short at 6'3", 6'4" to be a big man.
You were Larry Johnson.
I was too short.
You was UNLV Larry Johnson.
But he was bigger than me. He was taller. LJ's taller.
It was Charles Barkley.
Charles Barkley's
he's taller.
Chuck 6'4".
No. Is he?
He's 6'4". I seen him in real life. He's 6'4".
I feel like they're taller.
Look, bro, you probably can Google this, but it might have wiped this off the internet. When I was a kid collecting trading cards, basketball, football cards, they used to have Charles Barkley listed at 6'9". They was just making, back then they used to fabricate the heights a lot. They had him at 6'9". So as a kid, the way his playing style, you were an 8, 9-year-old kid, you thinking like he played like he was 6'9". But then when you found out he was 6'4", it was like, it made the myth even crazier to me. Because
better.
A 6'4" guy.
I'll say this. I elbowed thighs. I was a thigh elbower. I'm gonna put the point of my elbow right in your thigh. I'm gonna get off the ground way quicker than you.
You were
And my
goon.
vertical, bro, my vertical was crazy. Like I used to, I literally could look into the rim when I was in high school. I'm playing in high school now. My vertical in high school was insane. It was insane. I jacked my ankles up. Probably a lot of the reasons why I dealt with a lot of the health problems going forward was because of coming down on people's feet and stuff like that. But I get up. I get up.
Look, LaVar, was your leaping ability natural, or did you have the jump soles from East Bay
I did. I
catalog?
did. I had the waffle shoes.
Man, that shit was natural. He was born with that shit. Man.
Hey, TJ, why you holding me, TJ? I used to get up every morning. Because my dad's military dad. My mom is very structured. My mom would wake us up at literally like 4 a.m. You had to get up. You had to clean your room. You had to make your bed.
Ooh.
Your bedspread had to your comforter had to be the perfect inches off of the floor. You had to vacuum your room.
Inspection.
And had the backgammon. You had to have the backgammon lines in your carpet floor, right?
Whoa.
Before you got to breakfast.
He was in the trenches.
So think about this. I didn't have to be down the hill or in the car with my brother for another 3 hours. So I was getting up. I was doing 100 stairs. I go on my stairs. As soon as I finish cleaning up, I go on the stairs. I do like 100 stairs. Then most of the time, at least 2 to 3 times a week, I would run our hill. I run down the hill and run back up the hill. And then I did the jump rope with the waffle shoes, with the strength shoes.
Yeah, strength shoes.
And I used to walk around school with ankle weights on.
I remember those.
I used to walk around. I used to because of school. What was my man out of Do the Right Thing? That used to walk around with the J's on, the different color socks, and had the ankle weights on. I used to walk around with black ankle weights on all day long. Cats be like, "What you doing, man?" I take my ankle weights off, and literally I could put my wrist on the top of the banking square, the white banking square. This S wasn't all natural. I was on some weird S. I was the weird dude walking around like, dog, he's weird. Why you got ankle weights on?
Yeah.
Until
you made it. You got tickets, bro? Remember me back then? Remember me, bro? I get tickets.
But you wasn't with me in the gym.
You know.
Hey, all right. So I'm gonna concede that the WNBA women would certainly make it hard for the most elite high school team. I'm gonna concede that. Even though my belief is that the most elite high school team out of private these days, I don't know. I don't know what to tell y'all on that one because I've seen stuff with my own eyes that it's like it baffles me. They're like aliens and they're in high school. Now, I'm gonna say that. Let's transition to another alien. Dwight Howard. He responded. Everybody knows what's going on. We don't have to rehash and relive the details of it. But Dwight Howard, he responded, went on IG Live, had some things to say. Here's what he had to say.
Why the hell do you or anybody care who the hell I spend my time with? That's the problem with y'all people. Y'all worrying about who people spend their time with. Whatever I'm doing in my bedroom is my damn business.
So, fellas, I feel like he's got a point here. I mean, it is kind of weird to have an obsession with wanting to know celebrities' personal business. Like I kind of fall on the side of Dwight Howard here. Like that is kind of weird to obsess to be able to say, "Oh, look, I told you so. I told you he was, or I thought he was, or this, that, and other." First of all, it's like, why did you think he was? Why are you investing your time in trying to figure out what athletes or what celebrities are doing in their personal lives, their private lives? Like that is kind of weird. Now, I will say this. When it becomes public domain, now it's for consumption, and you got to deal with the scrutiny because you make a lot of money. To whom much is given, much is required. But fellas, I mean, I'm take y'all's opinions on it. Like, Is Dwight Howard wrong for sitting there saying the things that he said? I mean, I do think it's kind of out of bounds to be all up in what is people's private lives. I know for me, I don't want people knowing about what I have going on with my
LaVar,
family.
come on, LaVar, listen, man. When you're a public figure, it comes with it. Like, come on, man. He knows better than that. Me personally, I don't give a fuck what Dwight Howard does. I could care less. But when you are a public figure, it comes with the territory. Dwight Howard, he doesn't live a private life. He's not if you don't want your stuff out there, don't be on social media. Keep everything as private as possible when it comes to you. So you can't be public in this aspect and then say, I
But
want
then
this.
don't want to be public when something like this come out.
Yeah. And so that's what
Mm,
it is. And
mm.
so if he's gay, I don't care. Be gay. But to say that why do people care? It's because you're a public figure. Like, come on, man, that makes zero sense. Why do people care? Us, because you're a public figure. That's why they care. And if you didn't want to be you could still be in the NBA and not be on any social media. And now you're kind of in the background. And maybe, because Dwight Howard's a really good player. Maybe it doesn't get to this point. But when you are an athlete, a celebrity, and things like this that are surprising, it's gonna make news.
Yeah, I just think the timing is weird. Like we don't care at all about this. Like my daughter is in the community like that. She's gay, but like I've never looked at my daughter any kind of way. So it's like I think the society they always want to find stuff on people to try to demonize people. But I think it's questionable with the timing because he's trying to get back in the league. We saw that he had like the workout with the Warriors. I don't know if somebody's behind closed doors or whatever trying to conspire against Dwight, but I think he can still play in the league. But I think they're using these type of stories to distract people that Dwight trying to get back in the league, bro. So it's like the timing is all I have to scratch my head. Like, why did this come out? All these years, people seen Dwight's behavior on social media, or he's an outgoing guy, charismatic dude. We all laugh at him. We can give a shit about like what he doing at home. But like the timing of him getting back into the league, like I said, I think that's my question. Like, why did this public information come out right now when this dude been overseas? He was in Taiwan. He knows that he's better than a lot of backup centers in the NBA. And it's like, well, I'm not getting a chance to play. So we got to ask the question, like, is Dwight getting blackballed by somebody? Because why doesn't he have a roster spot? He's good enough to play in the NBA still as a backup.
I mean, I think that's a great point. I think y'all both make great points, and I really am curious to see how it does all pan out because he's definitely talented enough. You don't find big men that can do what he does, even though
No.
his skill set may have diminished just because of age. He's a little older now, but for what it's worth, he could still, like you said, he could still be
He give you 10 and 8.
garbage
He
time.
give you 10 and 8. He give you 10 and 8 off the bench. Easy 10 and 8.
Even if he gives you less than that. Even if he gives you less than that, to have a body like that on the bench, I mean, come on, man. Udonis Haslam's like 90 years old, man.
And look, and
he's still on the roster.
No. He retired, but he's retired, but he's still coming to practice. He's retired, but he still comes to practice. It's crazy.
I seen Udonis Haslam. He had a walker. He put the walker down, put his sneakers on, went on the court, and was balling. Udonis Haslam. He retired. I don't believe it. He's still playing. You go look up the roster. He still has a roster spot in the Miami Heat.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. There's some reason why, and I get where you're coming from. I get where you're coming from, Cuffs. But again, I just think that to be able to actually live your life. Because I'm with you, TJ. When you're a public figure and you do all the stuff, you're as outgoing as he is, you're going to get all the attention that led to you being Superman and being the dude, Dwight Howard, and this, that, and the other. When it's all good, it's all good. You can't get enough of it. But when you get the other side of it, it's like, whoa, that's too much. That's too much. Y'all negative. Y'all want me to hurt myself.
Positive
vibes.
only.
Positive vibes only.
Positive vibes only, baby.
Hey, did he not want attention in his career? He wanted attention. He wanted it. Now.
Yes. It's too much. It's too much. Well, I still want the attention. I just don't want this attention. I don't want this attention. I want to pick and choose what my attention is. All right. I get it. I agree with Dwight Howard and what he said, to the point of I do think it's weird to obsess over what somebody does in their personal life. I really do, because like y'all both said, I could care less about what he does in his personal time. I could care less who he's hugging and loving, who you want to be thugging. I don't really care. But I
That's a
think
good
it's
one.
interesting. You like that?
Yo,
You like that?
you know
Boy?
what? You know what I realized already? You listen to a lot of music like me because you just come with the bars, the random
Yeah.
bars.
Yeah.
That's a good segment. Random
You like
bars
that?
with LaVar. Yeah, random bars with
bars.
LaVar. Yeah, he
Yeah.
come with the random bars. He sneak them
You
in
like
every
that?
time.
You like that? It was a random bar. Who was that? Lil Kim? Was that Lil Kim?
Yeah,
Who you hugging?
yeah,
Who
that
you
was
want?
Little Kim.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. But anyway, I get that. So to each his own. But for what it's worth, on the real, if you're going to be out there, then you got to deal with when it rains, it pours. When it's sunny. You get all the weather. You get all the weather, and you got to be able to deal with that. Let's transition on to one more, and then we're gonna wrap this up, and we done. KG has his podcast. He was talking to his boy Paul Pierce. They were going back and forth. I didn't know this about KG. He had 2 heart murmurs. He was playing in his NBA career and basically could have died. And what's crazy is Kevin Garnett, he's my favorite player of all time. Him and Kenya Martin are my favorite players of all time. I just love their energy. I love the way they played. That was more or less me in my own mind. Like, that's how I'm coming with that type of with that type of energy. And KG was playing with a heart murmur, man, heart murmurs, and basically was like, look, he's got a problem and he's tired of how soft this new generation of athlete, how they are and what they're doing. And he basically was like, look, Doc tells me not to play. I'm saying, Doc, get the hell out the way. Get out the way, Doc. Get out the way. Okay, get out the way, Doc, right? I'm going to pose the question to y'all. And today, and knowing how touch sensitive today's world is, today's society is, should a player be able to tell the doc, get up out the way, Doc, I'm jumping out here, I'm going to play my game, and I'm going to do what I need to do? I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying to me. I know what you're saying my risks are, but raise up off of me. I'm going out here, and I'm going to get it on in. Should it be that? Should a player have the right to choose if they play or not?
I'm gonna say no because I have a personal experience with that. Like, I was coaching high school ball like 5 years ago, and at one of our summer workouts, I was running the workouts all summer, weight room, basketball, skill work. I had a sophomore that I knew the kid, one of my son's friends. He collapsed in a scrimmage I was doing with the kids right in front of me. And that's like the most helpless I ever been, bro. Like, all the CPR training and all that shit went out the window. So, like, this kid literally was dying in front of me, and he would have died that day if the athletic director happened to be in the gym that day to come give him CPR. They called the ambulance. The kid survived. He had to get a pacemaker or some type of device on his heart. He never played basketball again. Wow. But when that happened and I saw that, like, I was in tears outside of the gym. Like, I didn't want to coach basketball anymore because of that. Like, I was so traumatized to this day where I was helpless, and I feel like if that kid would have died in front of me, like, I really would have been even more devastated. So to see guys like Kevin Garnett say that, I think about a Chris Bosh. Like, a Chris Bosh, his career got ended prematurely because of the heart issues. He still got his guaranteed money, but I'm sure all the money in the world, I'm sure Chris Bosh outside some days and some mornings like us, like, wishing that he's thankful that he found out this, because you don't want to die in front of your wife and kids. Like, that's something that's going to scar not just you, but your family. Like, more people are affected by it. So KG was so competitive. He didn't have that ring. He wanted that ring.
So I'm going out on my shield.
I'm going out on my shield. And I respect the competitor and the gladiator. He's always been that guy. But if I was a doctor or if I was somebody in charge of that, there's no way I would allow the player to have the final say so. Like, I would never do that, because, like, that kid I told you that had the pacemaker, he wanted to come back and play. But the doctors advised his parents, like, it's a high percentage chance that he's going to die if this happened again. So it's like, it's a very touchy thing, man. But I would not want to see a guy go out there and risk his actual life, because it's more to life than just the accolades or the get a championship. I don't think it's worth your life.
Listen, the reason why it won't happen is one word: liability. Like, no professional team wants to be liable.
Yeah.
For a doctor saying he shouldn't play, and then he goes out and plays, and God forbid something happens. They don't want to be liable for that. And so, should a player have control, we will play with whatever because we think we are bulletproof. Man, ain't nothing gonna happen to me. I've been doing this my whole life. I'm good. Until something happens. This is why you have people that are put in place to save you from yourself. Simple as that. LaVar, you played with hella injuries. I would get shot. I would take a shot almost every week when I was injured just to play. Needle this long, bro.
Oh.
Needle this. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't even know what the fuck was in that needle. But it's gonna help me play. Fuck it. Shoot me up. I'm good. Like, we did that so many times because we feel like ain't nothing gonna happen. I'm good. But when they say no, your life is on the line for liability purposes, they aren't going to allow you to play. And I don't believe a player should be in a position to overrule a doctor, not when your life is on the line.
No, it can't happen.
KG was a different animal, but he had 2 heart murmurs. They obviously weren't significant enough
for them to
that
keep him out.
Threatened his life, because if they were, he would not be here.
Yeah.
If they were that significant,
not the way he played.
No, and so, yeah, he had them, but it wasn't at the level of some of these other guys, especially the guy that Cuff just talked about. It's a different level, and
Man,
I don't know all the technical terms.
I remember seeing Hank Gathers as a kid, like 90. I was a little boy watching Loyola, and I remember seeing Sports Illustrated and watching on the news, and like that messed me up. Like that messed me up as a kid. I'm like, do I want to play basketball?
Shouts out to Loyola Marymount, by the way. My daughter's going there to play volleyball next fall, so shouts out to them. I'm with y'all on this. I generally like to be a contrarian, but I really can't on this one. Listen, a broken finger, like Doc, raise up. A jacked up ankle, raise up off me. A knee injury, tape it up. If I can move and I can tolerate it, if my 60% is better than the 190% of the dude that's in front of me, I'm going out. But if it's something that says life or death, and raise up off of me, get from in front of me, life or death, like my heart, or I tend to fall on the side of, like you said, like if I'm younger, I'm a go with what they tell me because I feel like that's what's going to be right in the long run for me health wise. If I'm a vet and I'm a pro, you're 100% right, Cuffs. Like that's going to impact my family if I get up out of here. And hell, they get they get amazing life insurance. They'll get a nice payout, and they'll never have to do anything. But they don't have me. You know what I mean? And I feel like to even be the ultimate competitor, like this is why I don't think I was a Hall of Famer as a pro. I think to be the best of the best ever, you have to be one of the most selfish, self-centered people to be able to achieve greatness for the amount of time that you're going to be called for to achieve greatness. And I just wasn't that type of dude. I took my off seasons and I was with my family. And sometimes it wasn't about working out all day, every day. Like I listen to some of these guys that were, are Hall of Famers, and I do these interviews and they'd be like, I wake up and I work out in the morning. Then I head back over to the track at like a little afternoon and then worked out at the track. Yeah, and then I go back to the weight room and do some stuff at night. And I'm sitting there looking at him like,
shit, not me.
I'm putting in 2 hours. I'm putting in 2 hours. And I'm going to give
you had natural gifts.
That natural gift, those natural gifts are offset and run their course when you're around other natural gift people. Ooh. It runs its course when you're around other natural gifted people. So that dude that's sitting there, that's in the Hall of Fame, that was getting overlooked because of natural talent people, even though they had natural talent.
JJ Watt?
Even though they getting overlooked, Like I'm thinking of I interviewed
Aaron Donald.
Come on, man. He's from where I'm from.
They say
Undersized. They say you're too small.
You too
You're too
little.
small.
What?
You're too small. And he
What?
ain't much. In fact, if you look at Aaron Donald now versus what Aaron Donald looked like in high school, he looked like a little like he was a round dude. Like
How
he
much
was
he
a
weigh?
rolling,
How much he weigh? Like 260?
in high school, I don't know.
Like now.
Now he's probably like a real 265, 270.
Ooh.
But he rocked up.
Unstoppable. He unstoppable.
That young man is built like you go from being a guy that they say is too small to be able to be in the trenches to a guy that you look at and you say that's the prototypical type of guy you want. You want a guy that's compact, that's quick, that's strong, that knows how to use their leverage, that knows how to use their hands. Now he's turned it into being a prototype type of player. But yet you're saying he's too small. But to that point, Aaron Donald, if you look at Aaron Donald's work ethic and the things, and which I didn't think I had bad work ethic. I just thought when I worked and I'm done. 2 hours, I'm going to die in that 2 hours.
2 hours. That's
2 hours. 2 hours. 2 hours.
JJ Watt.
The rest of the day,
JJ Watt doing 7-8 hour workouts.
Come on, man. But the point is to me, like, it's like, you know, I can see the mindset and the framework of what it is that you have to be the greatest of the greats of all time. And that's a selfish and a lonely place for most all of them. That's why you be seeing some of them be getting in the type of trouble that they get into, or you can't really talk to them, or they don't really coach that well. They can't relate. They can't, what they are and how they are, you're not going to be able to relate to regular people, even people that are elite. You're not going to be able to relate to them. And I think that's ultimately something that when you listen to what KG's talking about, I understood where it was coming from. I don't subscribe to it, even though I hear what he's saying. But it's still something about having a mindset where nothing else matters. Nothing else matters, including my life. Nothing else matters.
So you're saying
I'm going to die being this.
It's levels. Being a gladiator is levels to gladiators, though. That's what you're saying. It's levels to the gladiator
and listen,
shit.
There's probably plenty of dudes out there that sacrifice the same way them dudes sacrifice and ain't mount up to being nothing. They pretty good. Didn't mount up to nothing. There was a lot of overachievers, or I want to feel good about myself because I worked out 3-4 times a day. I still whoop their ass. Put them in a body bag. You know we whooped them, TJ. You know we whooped them.
He said we whooped them.
But if there was that special dude, the Jerry Rice, like you said, the JJ Watt, the dudes, the Terrell Owens. Terrell Owens can't stop. He still works out like a maniac. To this day.
It's a lifestyle.
Shannon Sharp still works out like a maniac to this day.
Muscle memory. It's muscle memory, man. They lunatics in a good way. They lunatics, man.
Do y'all realize Shannon Sharp had, I don't know if it was a double hip replacement, or it was at least one. The dude is literally like a year or two removed from hip surgery, hip replacement. Dude had to get his hips replaced, and he's still back in the gym rolling hard with how he's working out. Some dudes are just wired differently in how they go about doing what they're doing. So I hear what I hear the logic and the sensibility of not pushing it if a doctor especially tells you medically you shouldn't do it. But then there's always them ones. There's always them ones that want to be the greatest and they live it and they eat it and they sleep. And then it's like, people told me what I'm not going to be my entire life. People told me what I can't do my entire life. And then you look at a doctor, and that doctor, even though medically using medical terminology, like you will die, they still looking at him like, no, I'm not. This is what I'm built for. You can't tell me that I can't do it. You can't tell me that this isn't what I should do. So move up out of the way. Let me show you what I'm going to do. Now, it's a great story when you end up being KG. But it ain't a great story when it ended up being your boy Cuffs or the Hank Gathers or the
Yeah.
other guys that, like Corey Stringer. It's a crazy story because I think about Corey Stringer. I almost went up out of this life the same way Corey went up out of here. And that was when training camps were training camps and you was hitting 2 times a day. And in the heat of the dog days, you'd be out in 100+ degree weather and you doing full contact sports. That man got up out of here on a heat stroke. I almost had a heat stroke the same exact day. I couldn't see color. I was so dehydrated coming out of that 2-a-day practice. They had to put 4 bags of IV fluid in me. I couldn't even see color anymore. I lost my ability to see color with my sight. I was like fading off. I don't know what dying feels like, but if that's what it is, I was almost close that day.
It was halfway home.
I was almost close that day. It's like that. It was like when Gladiator was touching the wheat and he was walking through. I ain't see no color, dog. I ain't see no color.
You was in the field with a boy. What was his name?
Russell Crowe.
Maximus. You was
Maximus Decimus Meridius. We up in the field. He looking at me. I'm looking at him. Only point there is Maximus is embracing it. I'm like, I don't want to go. I don't want to go.
The jig was hovering, man.
Yeah, but I ain't want it to be. But that's the point. But anyway, all right, y'all. Y'all got any last words before we wrap? Any NBA, last words? Any last thoughts?
I'm just ready for this NBA in-season tournament, man. It starts tonight. So I think we're going to see some even more competitive basketball. These first 5 games or so being real competitive. We saw the Lakers and Clippers. It looked like a playoff
here
atmosphere.
You go. Lakers and Clippers.
I tell TJ before I go.
You and TJ, go ahead.
Before I go, man, TJ just spread the word. Let everybody know in LA and Cali. I'm going to be out there soon, but just let them know. Go to Party City. Get the confetti now. Like, get it now. Don't wait till it sell out. Get the confetti now. So when the championship parade comes, we gonna have our confetti. We gonna be ready.
I'm gonna come with y'all, but I'm gonna be in the back hating. I'm gonna be in the back hating on y'all. Like
the haters have arrived. The haters have arrived.
Why y'all bring LaVar with you? Well, my nickname is LA. My initials is LA, so I'm gonna be here because my initials is LA. But that's the only reason why I'm gonna be there because I'm gonna be with y'all hating. Like, look at these dudes. They don't even like y'all. Y'all throwing this confetti. They don't even like y'all. Look at this.
Hey, you know what happened the other night that was funny? I saw the Laker Nation. They almost turned on Austin Reeves. They was turning on him in the first half. Is he overpaid? Is he overrated? They was throwing dirt on the grave. Well, what did Reeves do in that second half? That crossover he put on Norm Powell. Austin Reeves said, shut up. It's a long season. It's a marathon. Shout out to Nipsey. It's a marathon, man.
He crossed his way back into life. He crossed his way back to life.
There it is. Random bars.
He brought him back to reality.
Random bars from LaVar. There it is.
Hey, man, that's Cuffs the Legend from Some Dude Show. That's TJ Houshmandzadeh, Pantene, man. I'm LaVar Arrington. This is Up On Game. Make sure you subscribe to what we got going on. Check us out. We're on Saturdays, 9 to 11, or if you're on the East Coast, it's 12 to 2, all right? Make sure you check us out, man. Until next time, subscribe, do your thing, have a good day. We'll holler at you.